Have you ever felt completely left out in a room full of people? You know the words they are saying, but you just do not get the joke? Before I tell you a super relatable story about that exact feeling, let me spark your curiosity with the 10 questions and answers we are going to master today. Question 1. Why does saying next time usually mean never? Answer: because it is a polite excuse to avoid doing something. Question 2. What is the difference between working hard and hardworking? Answer: one is an action you are doing right now, and the other is a personality trait. Question 3. What exactly is a New Year's resolution? Answer: it is a personal goal or promise you make on January 1st. Question 4. What does it mean to get a joke? Answer: to get it means to understand the hidden humor. Question 5. Why do we say small town girl instead of girl from a small town? Answer: it is a compound adjective that native speakers love to use for a casual vibe. Question 6. What does it mean to open up to someone? Answer: it means sharing your true feelings and being vulnerable. Question 7. How do native speakers say turn off without pausing? Answer: we link the words together so it sounds like one word. Question 8. Why do we stress the word is when we say your English is good? Answer: we stress it to prove someone wrong in a nice way. Question 9. Why do we say the team is going to a pizza place when it has not happened yet? Answer: we use the present continuous tense to talk about fixed future plans. Question 10. How do we use don't think, just do in daily life? Answer: we use these strong command words to motivate someone instantly. Now, let me tell you a story. Picture this. It is Friday night, around 7, and the office is basically empty. Everyone has already logged off and started their weekend. But Roberto is still sitting at his desk, staring at his computer. Roberto is the new guy from Brazil. He is super smart, but he has been feeling a little lost lately. Suddenly, Maya walks back into the office. She had already left but forgot her phone. She is totally surprised to see Roberto still there and asks him why he is working so late. Roberto tries to play it cool. He says he just needs to finish a report and asks if all Brazilians are expected to be this hardworking in the US. Maya is basically like, no way, you do not need to push yourself that hard. She tells him to forget the report because the whole team is going to a new pizza place to hang out, and she invites him to come along. But Roberto gets nervous. He gives the classic polite excuse and says, "Thank you, Maya, maybe next time." Maya does not let him get away with it. She tells him that his next time is like her New Year's resolutions, meaning it literally never happens. Roberto gets confused. He does not understand the joke. Maya notices he is acting a bit weird and asks if he is scared of the team. Roberto brushes it off, saying he just has too much work to do. But Maya is persistent. She tells him he needs to have fun. Finally, Maya stops joking around and asks him straight up if he is okay. She tells him that it feels like he is avoiding the team. He never eats lunch with them, he does not talk much, and he ghosts them at work parties. She even asks if the team did something wrong. Roberto quickly says number. He tells her the team is great. But then he finally gets real. He admits that everything is just super different here. Back in Brazil, he knew exactly who he was. But here, he is just the new guy. He feels insecure about his English. Maya tells him his English is actually really good. But Roberto explains that while he understands all the work stuff perfectly, he does not understand the jokes. When Maya made that joke about New Year's resolutions, he had no idea what she meant. Maya feels super bad and apologizes, explaining the joke. But Roberto says it is not her fault. He says he feels stupid because the team jokes around all the time, and he never gets half of what they are talking about. That is why he stays quiet. He even says he feels like he does not belong here. If you want to know how to understand native English speakers, this right here is the biggest secret. It is not just about vocabulary, it is about the culture and the humor. When Roberto says he does not belong, Maya looks at him and says, "I understand that feeling." Roberto does not believe her. But Maya opens up. She tells him she is from a small town, and when she first moved to the big city, she felt completely lost too. People spoke differently, talked about things she did not understand, and she felt so alone that she literally cried in the bathroom almost every day for a month. Roberto is shocked. Maya tells him that things got better once she realized people were actually kind, and she just needed to open up. She tells Roberto that everyone feels lonely and scared in a new place, but if you do not open your heart, those bad vibes will stay forever. Roberto says he wants to try, but he just does not know how. Maya tells him the first step is simple. Come get pizza. She tells him, do not think, just do. Turn off the computer. Roberto finally smiles, turns off his screen, and agrees to go. Maya promises to help explain the jokes to him, and for the first time since he moved, Roberto feels like he is not lonely anymore. This is exactly why so many people love to learn English through story. When you hear a story like Roberto's, you learn how to speak with real emotion. Now, let's break down those 10 questions and answers we talked about earlier so you can use these phrases perfectly in your own life. Question 1a. Answer when someone invites you out and you say maybe next time. Native speakers know you are probably just being polite. It is a soft rejection. You do not want to say no and hurt their feelings, so you push it to an imaginary future date. For pronunciation, when native speakers say next time, we do not say both T sounds. We drop the first one. So instead of next time, it sounds like next time. It flows together smoothly and casually. Question 2a. Answer Maya asks Roberto if Brazilians are this hardworking. Hardworking is an adjective. It describes your personality. If you are a hardworking person, you always put a lot of effort into your job. On the other hand, working hard is a verb phrase. If you say I am working hard, it means right at this very second, you are putting in a lot of effort. One describes who you are, while the other describes what you are doing in the moment. Question 3a. Answer Maya jokes that Roberto's next time is like her New Year's resolutions. A resolution is a strong decision to do or not do something. In American culture, on January 1st, people make promises to themselves. Things like, I will go to the gym every day, or I will eat less sugar. But the joke is, most people give up on these promises by February. So when Maya compares Roberto's promise to a New Year's resolution, she means it is an empty promise that will never actually happen. Question 4a. Answer Roberto tells Maya, I never get half of what you are talking about. In spoken English, we use the verb get all the time to mean understand. If someone explains a difficult math problem, you say, ah, I get it now. If someone tells a funny story but you do not understand why it is funny, you say, I don't get the joke. It is the most natural way millennials and Gen Z express understanding without sounding like a textbook. Question 5a. Answer Maya calls herself a small-town girl. We use small-town as a compound adjective. By sticking the words small and town together with a hyphen before the noun, it creates a whole vibe. It does not just mean the size of the town, it describes someone who is maybe a little innocent, used to a quiet life, and easily overwhelmed by the big city. It sounds much more natural and storytelling friendly than saying a girl who comes from a small town. Question 6a. Answer Maya tells Roberto she just needed to open up. To open up is a phrasal verb that means you start sharing your personal thoughts and true feelings. When you meet someone new, you are usually closed off. You only talk about safe things like the weather or work. But when you finally talk about your fears, your loneliness, or your dreams, you are opening up. It is the absolute best way to make real friends in a new place. Question 7a. Answer Maya tells Roberto to turn off his computer. In natural American English, we do not say turn, pause, off. Because turn ends with a consonant sound, the N, and off begins with a vowel sound, the O, we link them together. It sounds like one single word, turn off. This linking is exactly what makes native speakers sound so fast. Practice saying it together smoothly, turn off your computer, and you will instantly sound more fluent. Question 8a. Answer Roberto feels bad about his language skills, but Maya tells him, your English is good. Normally, we do not put a heavy emphasis on the verb is. But when someone says something negative about themselves, and you want to strongly disagree and comfort them, you stress the verb. By raising the pitch of your voice on is, you are basically saying, you are wrong. and I am correcting you in a very supportive way. Question 9a answer Maya says, the team is going to a new pizza place. She uses the present continuous tense, is going. But wait, they are not there yet. In everyday conversational English, we use the present continuous to talk about future plans that are already organized or confirmed. Because the team has already decided to go to the pizza place right after work, it is a fixed plan, so is going is the perfect tense to use. Question 10a answer Maya uses imperatives to motivate Roberto. She says, don't think. Just do. Come on. Imperatives are the base form of a verb used to give a direct command. Usually, commanding people sounds rude. But in situations where someone is overthinking or feeling anxious, giving them short, direct instructions like just do it actually takes the pressure off them. It is a super friendly, encouraging way to say, stop worrying and take the risk. Learning a new language and moving to a new place is so challenging. It is totally normal to feel like Roberto. But the more you expose yourself to real conversations, the easier it gets. You stop translating in your head, and you start feeling the language. And just like Maya said, you have to take that first step. Open up, stop overthinking, and just go for it. I really hope you love this story and that these 10 tips help you sound way more natural when you speak. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, and it makes sure you never miss out on our next adventure into real, everyday English. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Keep practicing, keep opening up, and remember, you belong here. This has been Learn English with Jennifer, and I will see you in the next one.